Hi, welcome along. This week's video is looking at the release process. Obviously a tricky time within football for everybody. This video has been triggered by the time of year that I'm putting it out, but also two conversations I've had this week. One with a parent, and that went along the lines of, this is messing with my head, why we're not at a decision now, it feels like they're lying to us, there's been a replacement of a member of staff that's muddied the waters, they've said things in the past few months and it doesn't seem like they're going to follow through with it. So that's the parent angle, and I made a lot of parents and guardians who are in that space. Second is conversation with an academy manager, and the discussion was around something I've been thinking for a while. Let's first of all look at this system. So the system that we have in academies is set up with the idea, the notion that a club will grow their own players, males or females, and that will help them either financially going forward because they don't pay high transfer fees or higher wages, or they sell that person on, so that helps them financially, or it helps in another way where they get them into the first team and it helps them to succeed. And the process has been somehow more economically advantageous than buying players in. Not sure I fully subscribe to that being the case, but there are some good examples of it. Chelsea, Manchester City, Sunderland, Middlesbrough up in the northeast, both doing well in terms of selling on players to offset losses elsewhere in the club. But here's something that's not often spoken about. That traditional model doesn't work very often. And this was the conversation I'm having with the academy manager. By the way, he agreed. Actually, the one that outperforms the traditional academy model is the one where players are scouted, reviewed, released, not seen as good enough, move on, scouted again into another club, reviewed, don't think they're going to be good enough, move on. You can find far more players who have gone down the route of Michael Elise, Eberici Eze, Jared Bowen, Declan Rice, Mark Gay, the list goes on, who at some point were seen as not good enough, they were released and they've gone on to be outstanding. And it doesn't just happen here in the UK where I am. Rodri from Atletico Madrid is a good example, let go and then signed back for a lot of money, Paulinho. And it strikes me that we don't talk very often to parents that probably the best way of negotiating this is what would be seen as an unconventional route. So this brings me back to the release. What is a release? It's a subjective judgment at one point in time by a coach, a group of coaches. They often don't use all the evidence and research available to them to make decisions. They've got to make, it's not easy for them, they've got to make a call years out from the peak of this player's performance. And they get it wrong. But here's what I do. I show you through 300 players how actually the unconventional route is better, it's more efficient, and I show you what that route looks like. And we know what that route looks like years in advance. It's crazy, isn't it, that we put millions and millions and millions of pounds into the academy system, yet it is outperformed by an unconventional, the unintended consequences of that system. The release of young players left, right and centre who aren't good enough, and there are far more of those who then go on to be good than there are a type like Phil Foden, who goes all the way through, does get into the club, or players who are then sold on. It's really, really weird to think about that. But what I'm doing here is giving parents, guardians, young players the view of that unconventional system, something that clubs can't do because it doesn't align with the narrative of growing our own. I hope that's of interest to you. By the way, on the 19th of May, I'm running a workshop where I'm going to be really focusing on the release process, what it means to young players, what it means to parents and guardians. Love you to join. I'll put the link to the workshop in the description below this video, and I look forward to seeing you then.